Today we will talk about duplicates and how they affect the SEO promotion in Google. So how does it affect the promotion of the site? And how to delete duplicate content if needed. In general, Google doesn't take too kindly to duplicate content. This is especially evident when you start creating any regional versions of sites or subdomains. Google recognizes that the content is pretty much the same, with the only change being the toponym. Site pages usually enter the index, but they are not ranked, and this happens in many situations with duplicate content inside the site. However, the search engine does not always treat duplicate content from other sites the same way. That is, if you copied content from another site, but also added some additional value to it by including some changes, then in that case Google will rank it pretty well. Aggregator sites are a good example of that. In our practice, we've had cases where a website started gaining 6.5 thousand traffic per day from Google, despite the fact that the content there was entirely taken from other projects. All of this means that it's not that clear-cut. However, Google doesn't really respect duplicate content inside a site and chooses the main version of these pages and sends traffic their way, while ignoring the rest. In addition, there is also an effect that does not always occur, but happens nonetheless. When duplicates are made, usually in the form of regional subdomains, after a while the main version of the site loses its ranking positions. This does not happen very often in our experience. When we analyze such cases though, there always was a more compelling reason why there was such a low ranking. Nevertheless, this happens, and many SEO experts believe that these events are interrelated, so being careful about this wouldn't hurt. To sum up, Google doesn't like duplicate content within your site. It also applies to the cross-site duplicates too. If there is not enough value in the content, then the pages often have problems. However, this doesn't always happen. There are exceptions from each case. Sometimes full duplicates happen to rank pretty well. If you have decided that you want to delete one of the versions of your duplicates, then you have a variety of options. If this is a selection that can be found based on its URL address, then you can disallow certain address from appearing in the search results via the robots.txt file with a prefix of this address. The second option is to use the 301 redirect to the main version of your duplicate pages. And this option is way more reliable. We prefer the latter option more because it is possible that some traffic was already going to those pages. And to save all this traffic, we recommend not closing the page altogether, but using the 301 redirect. If for some reason you can't use the 301 redirect, let's say you still want to leave these pages to users, then put the rel canonical tag in the head section of the site's code, where you enter the main address of the page. Google usually respects and adheres to it. You can also close the page in a more reliable way than robots, using the robots noindex meta tag or the xrobots tag in the HTTP header. You may need this because sometimes pages are indexed even when they are closed in the robots.txt file. These are the 4 main ways of dealing with duplicate content on your site.